One can see these things by reading papers or by going through ideas and concepts on the board, but having the sort of the hands-on activity and experiencing what scientists actually do when they're trying to learn ecology and natural history of a place, this is one of the main objectives of the class. Given the fact that students are exposed to the field, to the issues and complexities of the field, they get really, really excited and they get much more motivated than when you just do the things sort of in a more abstract way by just reading papers or presenting PowerPoint, things like that. We wanted to train the students to quantify the communities of plants in this ecosystem. We did a number of randomly selected transects along a trail to quantify plant diversity. And then the students can calculate then values or indices of importance of the different species. We analyze the results and we conclude what we found. And so the relative density of these species is going to be 15 divided by that n. We compare our data with what is known in other parts of the world. So that sense of context is really very important for the students. And then we challenge them to think as to how they would communicate such a complicated thing like plant biodiversity in the context of global biodiversity. How could they convey that idea to other students or to other members of the community? And then we want to look at animal diversity as well. The exercise in the field is to apply different sampling techniques for them to identify arthropods, which is really critical because arthropods represent a very significant proportion of the biological richness of the planet. So today they're doing sweep nets to collect insects and arthropods in general associated to the plants in the understory, and they're also doing aerial nets to collect butterflies and all kinds of insects in general. And then we're doing the technique of the beating. We're beating the trees with a stick, and so everything that comes down we collect, and then we collectively identify the species, and we keep track of the numbers of the different groups of insects, and we're repeating that for many, many years. So the students are learning the techniques and learning the concepts of ecology and natural history of the place, but at the same time, in so doing, we're also providing information on sort of the state and the rhythms of activities of the preserve.
It's a beetle.
The students will have different motivations and passions or interests in terms of what their training is within this class. And so we want to combine that with the assignment for them to commit to conduct an independent project which has to be presented at the end of the course, meaning at the end of the second quarter. But they have to coordinate and define a topic which is of interest to them, but the topic has to be of interest to the preserve as well, because we want for them to have the feeling, and also for us it's important, that they contribute to the knowledge and understanding or addressing problems of the preserve. We call it learning by doing, and then they have that notion and they're very well prepared to convey that way of teaching to these communities that we're working with. They become fantastic ambassadors for us to extend that idea of communication. As much as we'd love to have hundreds of students taking this class, this is physically impossible, given the fact that we also want to give almost personal attention to each one of the students. So we only take about 20-25 students, including the members of the community. But those represent a terrific blend of different interests and different levels of training, and I like it very much because they complement their experiences and their understandings and their passions in different areas with different angles and perspectives, and also the different degrees of experience. I mean, PhD students who already know a lot of ecology, or they know a lot of math or a lot of statistics. So I love the blend, actually. It's a little bit more challenging, as you could imagine, because you have to look for a standard in which everybody gets something out of this class. But by and large, we have been so lucky that it works really well. In part because of our own motivation as faculty, but also in part because of the varied combination of students that we have, and the motivation that they have to share and communicate.